The silent species. The Galactic Council chamber was silent, floating high above a blue star. The chamber was a place where powerful races decided the fate of entire worlds. Ancient beings, machine minds, and warrior species sat in a wide circle, watching glowing data streams in the air. Today's topic was simple: humanity. The humans came from a small yellow star system, a quiet planet called Earth. For centuries, the galaxy had watched them from far away. The reports were always the same. Humans fought each other. Humans damaged their own world. Humans sent weak signals into space and waited for answers that never came. They were labeled as a silent species. No alliances, no threats, no importance. A tall insect-like counselor spoke first. Humans have shown no sign of advanced space warfare. They are divided, emotional, and slow. They pose no danger to the Council. Several members agreed. To them, humans were just another young race that would either evolve or destroy itself. The Council prepared to move on. Humanity was about to be forgotten. Then everything changed. Without warning, the chamber lights flickered. A strange signal cut through the Council's secure network. This was impossible. Council defenses had never failed before. A cold silence filled the chamber as symbols appeared in the air. Not alien code, not machine language. It was human. The translation systems activated on their own. A calm voice echoed across the chamber. Galactic Council, we know you are watching. Shock spread instantly. Several Council members stood up. Others pulled energy shields around themselves. Humans were not supposed to know about the Council. Humans were not supposed to speak first. The voice continued, steady and controlled. For a long time, you have studied us. You called us weak. You called us silent. Data streams exploded across the chamber. Human technology signatures appeared. Not new, not rushed. They were old, refined, and hidden. The Council began searching human records again. But this time, they saw things they had ignored. Human wars that pushed technology forward. Cities rebuilt after total destruction. A species that adapted fast under pressure. The voice returned. You saw our chaos, but you never asked why we survived it. Fear began to spread. Not loud fear, quiet fear. Long-range sensors suddenly detected something at the edge of known space. Something massive. Council scanners struggled to focus. The object was far too large. Some members whispered, others froze completely. The human voice spoke one final time. We did not speak because we were not ready. Now we are. The signal ended. The chamber remained silent. No one moved. No one spoke. At the edge of the galaxy, something ancient and powerful was moving closer. And for the first time in history, the Galactic Council realized a terrible truth. Humanity was never silent. They were waiting. Fear in the Council chamber. The Galactic Council chamber did not recover after the human signal. Silence stayed heavy in the air, pressing on every member present. Many councillors had lived for thousands of years. They had seen stars die and empires fall, yet none of them had felt fear like this before. Humanity had spoken, and they had spoken first. A reptilian council leader broke the silence. This should not be possible. Humans were not aware of us. A machine intelligence responded instantly. Council security was bypassed. No trace of forced entry. The signal was allowed, not hacked. That single fact caused panic. If humans could enter the Council network without resistance, then Council defenses meant nothing. Emergency data scans were ordered. Every known human transmission was pulled again. This time without filters. What they found changed everything. Human communication patterns were not random. They were layered, encrypted, and delayed. Signals hidden inside noise. Messages disguised as weakness. One Council analyst spoke with a shaking voice. Humans were never shouting into space. They were listening. Historical data began to shift. Human wars were no longer marked as failures. They were tests. Tests of endurance. Tests of innovation. Every major conflict pushed their technology forward. Every disaster forced them to adapt faster. Their planet tried to kill them, and they survived. A floating avian counselor whispered. They learned strength through suffering. The chamber lights dimmed as long-range sensors updated again. The unknown object was closer now, much closer. Its mass exceeded any known ship design. Energy readings were stable, controlled, and terrifying. This was not a weapon rushing into battle. This was confidence moving through space. Council fleets were alerted across the galaxy. Warships turned toward defensive positions, but none of them advanced. No one wanted to be the first to fire. A new human message appeared. shorter this time, sharper. You judged us from a distance. You mistook silence for weakness. The words echoed in every translation system. No anger, no threat, just truth. Fear spread quietly, not the fear of attack, but the fear of misunderstanding. The council realized something dangerous. If humans wanted war, the warning would already be over. Instead, humans were teaching a lesson. A senior council elder finally spoke. What do humans want? The answer came instantly, as if the humans had expected the question to be seen. Sensors screamed warnings again. The massive object was now clearly visible, a dark shape against the stars, too large to hide, too powerful to ignore. Council records had no name for it, no match, no counter. The machine intelligence delivered a final report. This object is not alone. It is the first. Fear turned into dread. The Galactic Council had ruled the galaxy for ages, but now they understood. They were no longer the only power watching from the dark, and somewhere beyond the edge of known space, humanity was stepping forward, not as a question, but as a fact. The Titan-class warship appears. The Galactic Council watched in complete silence as the unknown object moved closer. Every sensor in the chamber focused on the same dark shape. Stars behind it bent slightly, as if space itself was under pressure. The object slowed down, then it stopped, right at the edge of council-controlled space. No attack followed, no energy blast, no warning shot. That silence was worse than any weapon. The machine intelligence spoke first, its voice unusually slow. Object classification updated, structure confirmed. This is a spacecraft. The word sent a shock through the chamber. A ship that large was impossible. No known race could build something on that scale. Visual feeds sharpened. The dark shape gained detail. It was massive, longer than most cities, wide enough to block starlight. Its surface was layered with thick armor plates, marked with symbols the council did not recognize. Human symbols. Energy readings poured in. Power levels were steady, perfectly balanced, not overcharged, not aggressive. This ship was not prepared for battle. It was prepared for survival. A counselor whispered. How did we miss this? The answer was clear. Humans had not hidden one ship. They had hidden an entire industry. The ship's designation appeared on the display, automatically translated by council systems. Titan-class warship. The name alone caused unease. If this was a single class, then there were others. A human signal returned, clearer than before, stronger. This vessel represents our reach, not our full strength. Several council members others stared in disbelief. Council fleets were now fully deployed. Hundreds of warships surrounded the chamber's sector, yet none moved forward against the Titan-class ship. They looked small, fragile. The human warship rotated slowly, allowing full visual access, as if it had nothing to hide. Weapon ports were visible. Large, controlled, inactive. Enough firepower to erase fleets, yet completely silent. A senior military counselor spoke quietly. They could destroy us. Why haven't they? The answer came moments later, through another human message. Because destruction is easy, control is harder. The chamber felt colder, not from temperature, but from understanding. Humans were not showing off. They were demonstrating restraint. Historical human data replayed again. Wars where humans stopped before total collapse. Moments where they chose survival over pride. Times where they learned the cost of going too far. The Titan-class warship was not built for conquest. It was built to make sure conquest never reached Earth. A sudden realization spread through the council. Humans had not prepared for alien war. They had prepared for extinction-level threats. The machine intelligence confirmed it. Ship systems optimized for prolonged conflict, self-sustaining for decades. No external support required. This was not a patrol ship. This was a last-stand weapon. The human voice spoke again, calm and steady. This is our first meeting, but not our first defense. The Titan-class warship powered its engines slightly, not to attack, but to remind. Space rippled around it. Energy levels spiked for a brief moment, then returned to normal. The message was clear. If humans chose war, the galaxy would not be ready. The Galactic Council finally understood. They were not facing a young species, they were facing survivors. And the Titan-class warship stood silently, like a shadow cast by a future no one had planned for. Why humans never spoke. The Titan-class warship remained still. Its massive shape filled the Council's vision, yet it did nothing. The Galactic Council waited, not because they had to, but because they had no choice. a new human transmission began. Slower this time, almost reflective. You wonder why we stayed silent. The chamber lights dimmed, and human history appeared across the displays. Images of Earth filled the air, a small world, fragile, scarred. The narration continued in calm, third-person tone. Humanity was born into conflict. Their planet was harsh, their resources limited, their history filled with war. Humans fought each other for land, for belief, for survival. Entire cities burned, millions were lost. Yet humanity always rebuilt. The council watched scenes of ruined human cities rise again, stronger structures, smarter systems, better defenses. The human voice returned. Every war taught us a lesson. Every loss forced us to adapt. Data showed rapid technological leaps, weapons becoming tools, tools becoming safeguards. Humans learned not from peace, but from pain. The display shifted. Early alien empires appeared, strong races crushing weaker ones, planets stripped of life, species erased. The human narration grew serious. We observed the galaxy. We saw what happens to the weak. The council felt exposed. These were their own past actions, recorded, analyzed. Humans had watched everything, quietly, carefully, so we chose silence. Human space programs appeared next, not loud expansions, not aggressive fleets, but deep research, hidden construction, asteroid bases, dark space shipyards, facilities built far from attention. The Titan-class warship was not the first, it was the result. The voice continued. We did not want attention before readiness. Council members began to understand. Silence was not fear, it was strategy. Humans unified slowly, not under one ruler, but under shared survival. Old enemies became allies, because extinction made pride meaningless. The data showed climate disasters, near-extinction events, moments where humanity stood on the edge and stepped back stronger. A council elder spoke quietly. They were forged. The human message responded, yes, we were. The Titan-class ship powered auxiliary systems, not weapons, life support networks, civilian evacuation modules. This ship was not only a weapon, it was a shelter. Humans had planned for the worst possible future. Not just invasion, but total collapse. The message continued. We prepared so our children would not beg for mercy. The council realized a hard truth. Humanity did not trust the galaxy, and the galaxy had given them no reason to. The narration slowed. We stayed silent, because speaking early would have made us pray. The displays faded. Earth appeared again, small, protected. The Titan-class warship stood as its shield. The human voice ended softly. Now we speak because silence is no longer necessary. The chamber was still. No arguments, no commands, only understanding. The Galactic Council finally saw humanity clearly, not as a chaotic species, not as a weak one, but as survivors who learned when to hide and when to stand. And now, humanity was standing. Humanity's warning. The Galactic Council did not interrupt the silence. Every member felt the weight of what they had just learned. The Titan-class warship remained motionless, yet its presence filled the chamber. A new human transmission began, clear, steady, and direct. We did not come to conquer. Several counselors shifted uneasily. They had heard similar words before, from races that later burned worlds. But this voice was different. It carried no hunger, no pride. We came to set a boundary. Council defense systems showed new data. The Titan-class ship was adjusting power flow. Energy moved toward weapon systems. Slowly, deliberately, no weapon fired, but every scanner screamed warnings. This was a demonstration, not an attack. The human message continued. Earth seeks peace, but peace without strength is only hope. The warship's outer armor shifted, revealing deep weapon channels. Massive, precise, controlled. Council fleets locked targeting systems, then hesitated. One wrong move could start a war no one could win. A senior council military leader spoke. What is your demand? The reply came instantly. We do not demand, we warn. The Titan-class ship increased output for a brief moment. Space around it twisted. Energy readings jumped beyond safe limits, then stabilized. No damage, no explosion, just proof. This ship can erase fleets, but it will not unless forced. Fear spread again, not wild fear, calculated fear. Humans were not threatening to attack. They were explaining consequences. The message grew firmer. Any threat toward Earth will be answered, not with anger, but with certainty. Council records updated automatically. Humanity's status changed from unknown to high to top tier. Some council members protested, others remained silent. They understood the meaning of restraint. The Titan-class ship powered down its weapons, returning to passive state. That single action spoke louder than any attack. Humans were offering a choice. Peace is our choice, not our weakness. The chamber felt smaller now, as if the galaxy itself was listening. A council elder finally nodded slowly. They could have destroyed us. They chose not to. The warning was complete. Humans had drawn a line, clear, unmoving. The Titan-class warship did not advance, did not retreat. It waited. The human voice ended with one final statement. The next move is yours. The transmission. Cliff. The Galactic Council was left alone, surrounded by their fleets, outmatched by one ship. For the first time in its long history, the Council was not deciding the fate of another species. They were deciding how to live with one, and everyone in the chamber knew, whatever choice they made, the galaxy would never be the same again. A new power in the galaxy, the Galactic Council, remained silent long after the human transmission ended. No one rushed to speak. No one argued. The Titan-class warship waited, its massive form steady and patient, like a guardian standing watch. At last, the council began its vote, not with loud voices, but with careful thought. Status screens updated. Across the chamber, humanity's classification changed, from silent species to recognized power. The result was clear. Humanity was now listed as a top-tier species. A message was prepared, formal, respectful, cautious. The Council spoke as one. The Galactic Council acknowledges humanity. We accept your boundary. The reply came moments later, simple and calm. Acknowledgement received. No celebration followed, no threat, no demand for reward. The Titan-class warship did something unexpected. It did not move closer. It powered down further. Weapon systems fully offline, shields reduced to passive defense. This was trust, given carefully. The council representative asked, "Will you take a permanent seat among us?" The human response surprised them. No. The chamber stirred. Refusal was rare. The message continued. We do not seek control. We will stand when balance is threatened. Human data streams appeared one last time, showing relief, fleets, evacuation ships, defense networks. Humanity was not building an empire. They were building a shield. The Titan-class warship began slow movement, turning away from the council chamber. Its engines glowed softly, not with aggression, but with purpose. As it prepared to leave, the human voice spoke again. We will watch, as you once watched us. The warship entered warp space. Light bending around its hull. Then it was gone. The stars returned to normal, but the galaxy had changed forever. The council sat in reflection. Old rules no longer felt safe, old assumptions no longer applied. A new truth had settled in. Humanity did not arrive as conquerors, they arrived as survivors. They did not demand fear. They earned respect. Far away, on a small blue planet, life continued. Children looked at the stars, unaware of the decision made that day, but they were safer because of it. In the dark between galaxies, human warships stood watch, silent, patient. The age of ignoring humanity was over. A new power had entered the galaxy, not loud, not cruel, but unbreakable. And from that day forward, the stars remembered one lesson: never mistake silence for weakness.